Good morning. Good to see everybody. Good to see. We'll get started in just a second here. Let's see. What is today? It's May 11th already. 10th. I'm sorry. Boy, I'm looking at my calendar wrong. So good to see you. John Lee with St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. And we're here for networking. Good to see everybody. I think we'll probably let Laura go ahead and start off. She's got to leave here in just a minute. And then I got a few announcements. Oh, there's Lloyd coming in. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Okay, Laura, you want to go ahead and do your disclaimer?
I certainly will. Good morning and welcome, everyone. First, I'd like to do a bit of housekeeping. Feel free to unmute yourself when it's your turn to speak. Please be mindful of everyone else by muting yourself while others are speaking. You're welcome to put any contact information that you want to share into the chat. We meet here to share deals, look for deals and solutions we have in need with our real estate. We are not your financial advisors, attorney, or accountants. We do not endorse or recommend any specific solutions or contractors here. You're advised to do your own due diligence to your own satisfaction before you invest. The first Friday of each month is Ask the Attorney with Ms. Catherine Davis. Our meetings are typically recorded, so only share what you want others to know.
Thank you, Laura. I just noticed we look like we're both should be working on the side of the road today with our orange shirts. So
You're matching.
if we were sitting there with Eric, you couldn't see us with his orange background. Well, good to see everybody. Let's see, just a couple things. Actually, got a few things here. Let's see. Our main event coming up here, May 21st, we've got Jason Schroer. He's a St. Louis County housing inspector. That ought to be very interesting. I had some long conversations with him. He's a very, very knowledgeable guy. He was a firefighter at one time, and he's all about collaboration and working with property owners to get your inspections done right and get them done right the first time. So be sure that you, if at all possible, show up at the Moolah Shrine Center, and that's 12545 Fifi Road. And that'll be at 6:30 on the 21st. Now you do want to get there early because he's going to start at 6:45 because instead of 7 like we normally do, because he's got to leave, going to another meeting at 7:45. So want to make sure you get there early, and he's going to be very much available for questions too. He's very good, very, very good guy, and he makes sense, makes a lot of common sense. Then on
Hey, John, one other thing about that, you want to get there early because we're going to have pizza again. It was so popular back in March when we did pizza. We're going to have decided on the boards to decide we're going to have it pizza at every meeting.
Okay, thanks, Lloyd.
Okay.
Then on let's see, June 28th, you also want to mark your schedule and mark your calendars. We've got this will be a good exciting meeting too. We've been working on stuff all week. And June 18th will be Rich Inman. He's a public insurance adjuster. He's the guy you go to when they're not paying you enough, or if you want to fight the insurance company or just make sense out of them. He's going to be there, and he's going to have a lot of time for Q&A. We've also got Jim Siebert or Schubert. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. I call him Jim. I just met him this week, but he's with Pride Cleaning and Restoration. So if you have any kind of disasters, I know we had some storms and flooding and stuff come up. He's going to be, he's very knowledgeable on that. He's right here in town, but they cover a wide area. He'll be here. Then on, let's see here, next main event on July 16th, that is going to be with Jason Diekman. Okay, he's a window expert, and he's a very interesting guy too. I talked to him yesterday, but we've seen him on Tuesday at the St. Louis Business Expo in St. Charles there. I don't know if anybody went to that. I think we've only missed like one, Laura and I, in the last like 7 years. It's a very good thing put on by the Small Business Administration here in town, and he's a window expert, and in fact I made a video of his little demonstration, and I asked if he'd come and do that for us because they have some windows that are a little bit different than what you used to. He took a blowtorch, and blew it on the window on the outside and just showed how the double pane it stuck up, and the temperature didn't really even change on the inside of the window. So I don't know if you, I know we've had some in the past, but if you have any of the windows, they're out in the sun all day, and you've had any damage for that kind of stuff, this might be a way to do that. So I asked him if he'd come and demonstrate that for us, and this will be interesting too. I got that little video. If I have time, I'll put it up, and maybe I'll put it on YouTube or something and share that in the meantime. Also, just a couple other things. Let's see here. Brad Summerrock's the Apartment King. We had him a couple of months ago. He is doing a presentation on Monday night on a couple other things they're working after the summit. So I don't know if you're interested in that. You can send me an email. I'll put my email in there, and you can send me a link on that. Let's see. A couple other things. Let's see. Anybody know that Missouri has its own holidays besides the U.S. holidays? Yeah, I see David shaking his head. Yeah, I had an appointment the other day to go to the courthouse. I was meeting the trustee, and it was Truman's birthday, which President Truman's from Missouri, and the courthouse was actually closed. So she called me back, and we had to reschedule for Monday, which I thought that was kind of funny. So as it turned out, it was good because we had a bunch of storms down in that area and everything. So I had never known that before, though, that we have our own holidays. So that's something to keep in mind if you ever have any official dealings. And incidentally, I was going down to get a property from somebody, the one I did not own, from a trustee. This is just a little off here, but it's kind of like a nothing down property that I'm buying and selling to somebody else who asked me for it. So my mentor, some of you probably know Robert Allen, and he did the original book Nothing Down. It's his birthday on May the 20th. So what we've done in my other group that we meet on Mondays is we're making an official Nothing Down Robert Allen holiday. We figured if the state of Missouri can do it, we can do it. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to show you the deal that I just got, because it just kind of goes right along with this on how I got something with Nothing Down. I got the guy to pay me, and then I'm going to buy a property over the counter that I'm selling to him. And it's kind of interesting. We do this a lot, but I'm selling to him over time. $49 a month. Don't sound like much, but it goes on for like over 11 years. And I have my money back right away. So kind of an interesting thing. So if you're interested in just seeing how the mechanics, how we put this together, you just send me an email. Again, I'll put it in there because May 20th, and it's Robert Allen's birthday. So we're going to make it a Nothing Down Robert Allen Day. And we'll just show you how to do that, which would be kind of interesting. One other thing I'm working on here too, and I'd like all your participation if you care to. We're putting together a thing on tips from real estate investors. It could be seasoned or brand new or whatever, but one tip, and this is just something we did a few years ago. You might have noticed if you looked at our book we have on the website. We do have a little section on this, but we're putting together a whole thing on this. One tip, if there's one thing that you would like to tell to other investors, something you would do different if you were starting over again today, or one thing you would not do, if you would not do again, or something you learned that did not go right. And those are usually the best lessons. So that's kind of what I'd like for you to do is give us something you wouldn't do again, something that other people can learn from. So if you're at all interested in participating in that, I'd love to hear from you. So I think that's about all I have. Let's see. Eddie Speed, I did a podcast with him a couple weeks ago with Note School, and that was pretty interesting. If you're interested in listening to that or watching that, it's on burned out landlords turning note investors. So that was pretty. Eddie, I don't know if we had Joe Varnador a few years ago before he calls it the virus, before the virus hit, coming into our area. He was I think it was 2018 or 19. He came and spoke to us and did a full day event. But note investing, if you're not familiar with it, it's worth kind of looking at just to kind of give yourself a different horizon and open your eyes a little bit. So I think that's all I got. Lloyd, do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, the only other thing I might add is we put it in our newsletter. If you're on our mailing list, you should have your newsletter in hand by now. And we put it it's called the Roundtable for Landlords on May 22nd. It's been we talked about it here last Friday. I think it was Yolanda that brought it up. She's a member of the board there. On the St. Louis Metro Housing Coalition is putting it on. It's a free event for landlords, educational, and informative. Sounds like they're going to have some vendors there that would provide services for landlords. So sounds like it's right up aligned with with the mission statement of the St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. So we put it in our newsletter. There's a QR code there you can register. It's for free. So if you're available on May 22nd, they provide a light breakfast and lunch, both for all for free. They're just trying another educational event for landlords. So I just throw that out, and it was good seeing folks that made it last Monday to our networking lunch. I know Jay was there. Who else? I saw Eric. Eric was there. Who else? I thought there was. Yeah. Okay. Is anybody else I missed? Anyway, we had a good crowd, about 14 people, I think, on Monday. So a good turnout. So glad to see everybody there. They could make it, and we're doing it again on the 1st of June, first Monday in June, which is the 3rd, June 3rd. Oh, that's the only other announcements I'd like to put in for.
I have an announcement.
So ready to, who wants to kick it off today as far as haves and wants?
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Fabian. Go ahead.
Oh, I promised you guys the photos. So I did attend that game for the tickets I won last
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Yes, that the game itself was awesome. Let me see where. No, trying to share my screen. All right. Let's see, 1 second. Let's see. Well, here's my Facebook page, and here is the photo. So we were dressed in red. That's myself, my wife, and
Yeah.
our little 11-year-old, which this is her first baseball game. So we
Cool.
had a wonderful time. The game itself was called for rain. And the interesting thing is the game went all the way into the 10th inning. The Sox were up 6-5. Bases were loaded at the bottom of the 10th with St. Louis on deck. Bases are loaded, no out. And then the rain and lightning came and they called the game.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
In the bottom of the 10th, they called the game with bases loaded, no one out.
That's one for the history books there,
Yeah,
Fabian.
Cardinals have had enough bad luck. They didn't need that.
Yes. So I figured I would share. You guys wanted photos. Like I said, we were in red, so it was a wonderful game.
Good. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. Another thank you to Kathy for providing
Yes,
those.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to send her an email or a text.
Yeah, please
for
do.
those tickets, because those tickets location was very nice too.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice seats.
Yeah, seeing that. I think it was about the age my kids were when I took them to their first baseball game. I don't know if they've been back since, but at least it was an experience. Okay.
Good point there, Laura. Baseball can be boring until it's not. Exactly. Was that Yogi said it's not over till it's over? You know?
Yeah. Or you get rained out.
Great. I see, and you guys have Nevada Day out there too in Nevada, I guess. So that's maybe we're not the only state that does some things that I didn't know about.
Sure.
But I thought that was pretty interesting. I wonder if that's for the silver rush or the gold rush or something like that. Are the gamblers?
It was that the day Nevada became a state. The day they got their statehood, they have a big parade. Yeah, that was an exciting first game going. You got more than your money's worth when going into extra innings.
Yes, I did. I wish they didn't call the game, but unfortunately they did. So.
Yeah. Like I said, the Cardinals have had enough bad luck this year so far. Anyway. Okay, well, who else has got something for us, related to real estate or, um, got something you want to sell? You looking to buy in an area? The wholesalers got something under contract. They're looking for an assignment. You got some investors here.
Well, Lloyd, put in my 2 cents worth. I'm a private money broker. I fund fix and flips, fix and refis, and reboots. I also do commercial, and my phone number is 314-513-1982, and I'll put my stuff in the chat. That's my story. I'm sticking with it.
Okay, please do, Jay. Thank you. Yeah, before I get any further along, we got Dave Soto with us today. He's one of our supporting vendors. I'll let him take a few minutes to tell us about his services. Dave?
I'm sure some of you are tired of hearing it, so. But some of you haven't heard it, so I'll go ahead with my spiel. So we're a full service property management company. We're based out of Cape Girardeau with an office in St. Louis. So we manage properties between Charleston, Sykeston, all the way through Perry County, then up to Jefferson County and throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. We're a full service management company. We handle everything from you pretty much just sign it over to us and we take care of it. I can tell people the best way to describe it is that we handle everything. You just collect a check or open your statement in the 15th of the month and see how much money we deposit in your bank account. So any issues with tenants, inspectors, anything like that, maintenance, we handle that. So that's what we do. We do all those qualifications for the tenants. We work with the housing authority. We work with the utility companies. All that's just off your plate. So that's what we do.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. Thank you for being here every Friday too.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Who else has got something for us?
Hey, I got something. I'm looking for something for a friend. They're looking for somebody that can install, and she's also looking for to buy a septic tank. If anybody know anybody.
Okay. We've had that come up before.
What location,
Sure.
Eric?
I had my notes, but I left it because I'm right now I'm in California. But when I get back to St. Louis next week, I can give you that information.
Okay. I'll put somebody in the chat. I use them in Jefferson County. I don't know how far out they go or whatever, but they're good. I'll put them in the chat just in case it helps.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, I might be getting with you later on too. I have because you say I got a property that I'm working on. Actually, I got it. It's a land in St. Louis County that I'm selling. But I had to get a valuation on it, and so I also got a couple of brushes that I'm going to clear out, so to make it more habitable. So I'll get back with you with that as well.
Okay. Very good, Eric. All righty. Anybody else got anything?
I have an extremely abstract question.
Sure. Go ahead, Reed.
So yeah, good morning. So let's say hypothetically speaking, you have about 300,000. What would you buy? Would you buy multifamily? Would you buy a duplex? Would you stay out of the market? That's to anybody really.
Well, I think it depends on what your goal is and what your interests are. There's so many ways of investing in real estate.
Yeah, I'm hoping for just long-term returns. I have 2 single families right now. I've had them for several years and it's worked out good for me. So I'm kind of ready to take like the next step,
Mm-hmm.
maybe to like a multi-unit building, but it's like, it's a big step.
I was just gonna say, yeah, if you're already getting into rentals, you could step up into multifamilies easily. I mean, Brad Sumrock, who John was just mentioning, he's uh, he's a good source for learning about investing in multifamilies.
Awesome. Thanks. I'll check them out.
Okay. Anybody else want to give any advice to Reed or tell us what you did with your?
Yeah, I think to his point, I have two single families out in South Jersey. I left those. I have one single family out here in the St. Louis here, and then right after that, about end of last year, decided to get into the multifamily space. So purchased a fourplex over in Tower Grove South, and I'm actively right now almost on a contract for another fourplex out in Benton Park West. So to your point, I'm trying to navigate from the single family environment over to the multifamily, and hopefully at some point, maybe an apartment complex. So that's what I'm doing. If that gives any insight into what you may or may not want to consider moving away from single family units.
Nice. Yeah, I've been looking at the fourplexes. I think that's going to be my next step. So I appreciate the insight.
Yeah. And if you need information surrounding the fourplex that I purchased, this feel free to ping me. I am not an expert. I did all my due diligence, research, and everything else, and decided the property that we purchased was at a good price, and we got into it. And so far, it's been working great. We had some hiccups. When we first purchased it, when we got it on the contract, discovered the roof needed replacement, but we were able to get replacement costs built into the price, got it reduced and so forth. So just ping me if you have any concerns.
For sure. Thank you.
Fabian,
Yes.
yeah, are you managing them yourself, or you go through a management company?
Great question. I am self-managing the two remotely that I have in South Jersey, and I'm also self-managing the units that I have here at the moment. So managing myself, but at some point I'm going to need to outsource with the addition of the portfolio that we're trying to expand with. So, but presently self-managing.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Reed, I have a question. Are you open to house hacking on a four family?
Yeah, I'm actually looking to move to Missouri, so I would.
Okay,
love
great. Yeah, because one thing I would suggest is finding some sort of a 2 or 4 family where you could get a loan, like an owner occupant type of loan with a really low down payment or some other upside, and use that as an investment opportunity. And I actually know of one that I think might be a decent opportunity. I could send it your way. If you want to throw your contact information in the chat, I'll check in with the listing agent on that and see if it's still available. It's in
Yeah,
a
that
good,
would be great. I'll do that.
really good part of the city. But check into it for yourself, but I'll send it your way. But they definitely feel like I think 2 of the units are very updated, and then one needs work and one is like somewhere in the middle. So it'd be like a good chance for a value add component to at least half of it. And again, the agent believes that it's going to be a really great opportunity for someone who wants to live there. So yeah, okay, I'll send it. Got
Sweet.
it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't mind doing paint and stuff and buying a roof because that's my curse. I have to buy a roof on every building I buy. So
Okay, all right. Well, I can't promise you have to buy a roof on this one, but I'll check into it.
sounds good. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good put that Fabian gave on his inspection showed that he needed a new roof, or he knew it already when he bought it. He negotiated that into the sale price. I've done that myself, and that's when inspections pay for themselves. You can get the opinion of a professional inspector that says that the roof needs to be replaced. Just use it as a negotiating point. You may not always get a full cost of a roof, but gives you some leverage for negotiating. Okay. Who else has got something for us today?
Hi, I have related questions on house hacking and multifamily since we're kind of on the topic. Um, and feel free to cut me off at any time because I got a few questions that just, pouring over research, I just haven't quite been able to come to a consensus on, hoping to gauge the group's opinion. So where I'm at is I'm talking with a bank about pre-approval, and I'm looking, next step would be, I guess, to look for a real estate agent, preferably one that's in the know, sort of about investing and that angle, maybe one that invests themselves. First of all, does anyone from the group have a recommendation for the Metro East area, like around Edwardsville?
Well, Metro East persons will usually refer to Laura Lennington. She lives on the east side.
Yes, so I am a licensed agent in Illinois and Missouri, but I do not consider myself an expert on anything, and I am not a good, I don't enjoy representing people, but I know who the best folks are over here. I've got two people in mind that I would absolutely love to put you in contact with, agent investors, that I absolutely think you should talk to. So put your contact information in the chat and I will give you their information and get you guys all linked up. Really
That'd be
great.
so good. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to talk to one of these guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Okay. So I'll drop my contact info in the chat for you, Laura. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'll get it over to you ASAP. And I'll just, if you have time after the call, we can jump on a call so I can kind of like get the rundown a little bit. But yeah, I'll reach out to you and we'll get everybody connected.
Okay, I'd love to connect. I'm in the middle of my 9 to 5. Definitely multitasking, trying to prep for a meeting in an hour.
Oh,
But
perfect. Don't worry about it. We'll do it. We'll do it when it works.
thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay. You say you had
Okay.
another question about house hacking?
Yeah, loads, but I'm gonna keep it limited. So one thing that I've heard is a huge plus about maybe not single family, but about multifamily is you can sometimes expect or hope for, I guess, projected rental income to be counted among your income when like considering what sort of price range you can be approved for. Is that something like, does that hold up with your experiences, or am I hoping for too much there?
You can use, when I apply for loans, yeah, I use my rental income. They might discount it, who's dependent on the agency and their underwriters, they might discount it more than I would for, like for vacancies and other things. My vacancies are generally well under 5%. I don't have too much turnover, but I think a lot of institutions might have a 15 or 20% factor that they automatically put on everything to reduce your rents by for vacancy. Anybody else got any comments? John, you're a former mortgage lender, banker. You were in the banking business. You have any
Yeah,
suggestions
there's a
there?
couple things, I guess. Yeah, Steve, the main thing is one size doesn't fit all. You'll just have to, Jay talked about some private money before. That's always a possibility. Traditionally, if you go to, like, if you're looking at multifamily, if you don't have a record, a history, it's going to be a little bit different than if you already been established. I mean, even though I knew a little bit about the business, it still took me probably 10 or 12 different properties and having a history. I did them pretty quickly too, though. But before they would I got to the point where I could just call the bank and tell them what I was doing because they knew how I worked and they knew what my model was. Without having a history, you're going to kind of start from scratch, which isn't a big deal, but you got to start where you are. And main thing is just education. Sounds like if you're already pre-approved for something, talk to whoever you're talking to. Because one thing you don't want to do is go around and get hard inquiries on your credit report from everybody in the world. We used to see that a lot in the day. Nowadays, the model is a little differently. Like if you're shopping for a personal residence or one you may live in or something like that, then you usually have a window, and it's typically about 30 days where they don't count against you. But what can happen, just getting your credit pulled everywhere with hard inquiries, that you can lose up to 10 points every time that happens, you know, our maximum of 10%, I should say. So it's, you know, that can be a factor. But one size doesn't fit all, I guess, is the only thing I want to say about that. You got to see what works for you. And just education is the main thing. See what you want to do and then focus on that. You know, a lot of people out here focus on too many things and try to do too much at once. I know I get sidetracked on a lot of stuff like that too. But if you want to do multifamily, I would suggest that you watch Brad Sumrock's. Go back and watch our the event he had with us here. But just he's got an event coming up Monday, and I'll get that link if I can put it in the. I'll see if I can put that in the chat. That's just listen to some of these people if you want to. And Brad came up with a couple of good points, and it's as far as that goes. Once you know exactly what you want to do, you need, and then you get in the room with people that already, you know, because it's confidence is really the main thing. That it's not that anybody's smarter than you. You just haven't started yet in what you want to do. So once you get in the room with the people, see what they're doing, and that's who you want to network with. Just like you're coming here and networking with us, you're finding out what other people do, and just see what you want to do. So that's the main thing though. With money, there's plenty of money out there, and the deal has to make sense, but it has to make sense for you, and you only get that through experience.
Yep.
So I don't know
Absolutely.
if that helps
Appreciate the
or
tips.
makes it more confusing, but that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Mhm.
That's it for my list. Sorry. Thanks for
Okay. Okay.
time.
No. It's great. Okay, glad to have you with us. Who else has got something for us? Anybody need any contractor referrals today? That's usually would take some of our time. Somebody's looking for a contractor. Appreciate the ones I've gotten recently from the group. I got on egress windows. I've got collecting bids on that. I think yeah, Laura gave me a name last week. I've contacted him, and or that was 2 weeks ago. And then I picked up a couple more on Monday. So just got to get all my bids together, and then get with my son to get his work it into his schedule. Okay.
I just put Brad's link for Monday if you want to register for that. That's a free event where he'll be going over some more details on the multifamily. When he started out many years ago, I think he started out with a 32 unit apartment, and he has never done anything less than that. They do really big deals, but if you want to know about multifamily, and what I like about Brad, he very simply explains it. He was an engineer originally, and he quit his job of like 160,000 a year once he got his apartment investing going. So he's a very interesting guy to listen to, and he's very much common sense. He's all about numbers. So one thing I like though is you can get involved a couple of different ways. You can even get involved with him with absolutely no money. I mean, you just take the little training that he has, and you can get out there and find the deals. And personally, I think if you become a deal finder, that's the best skill you can ever have, that and marketing. But finding the deals is what everybody has a problem with, it seems like. At least I see that a lot. People want this magic bullet. They can go out and buy a list and get on all this stuff. And I see what people always looking for the next shiny thing, going to the different trainings. If you can just find out how to find the deals, that's it right there. Because no matter what you get into, whether it's multifamily, single family, land deals, whatever you want to get into, find the deals. And it's, you know, there's really no magic to it, but that's it. So Brad, I would highly recommend if you that you go just listen to him. And if you got some time, I believe it starts at 5 o'clock on Monday, which unfortunately I've got a meeting at 5 and 5:30 every Monday. So I will not make it, but I will be watching the replay too. So if you go ahead and register, you can at least get on the list. And I would highly recommend that, because Brad's like the top one in the country. I met him many years ago, and he actually has done some training for, you know, or done some events with people like Robert Kiyosaki, and I seen him with Tony Robbins, which was a totally different event back then, but I seen him with some other people. So I would recommend, if you're interested in finding out more, that, you know, he's a good guy to learn from. And then Robert, I stuck that that up in there too, I believe. Yeah, if you're interested in the Robert Allen Nothing Down Day that we're gonna host coming up on May 20th, send me a note too, and I'll be happy to send you a link for that because that's gonna be a lot of fun. We're just gonna have fun with it. It's on Robert's 76th birthday. So, and he's my mentor and my turned friend. He actually wrote the forward for a couple of my books, but I went out and met him a few times, and we've become friends over the years. But he's the guy who wrote the original Nothing Down book. I'm talking to him. I'm trying to get permission to give away a few things. If you've gone to our website though, anytime, we do have the book, The Challenge, that he wrote, and he gave us permission to put on there. It's a special version that you cannot get, the public cannot get. It's got it's over 400 pages with all his personal footnotes, okay, of things during the book. If you just go buy the book, it's a great book. The Challenge is, but it's when him and Tom Painter is one of his coaches. Tom's a good guy too. I don't know if you know him, but I can give you some more information on him. But they came here to St. Louis and took people out of the unemployment line, never to set foot in the unemployment line again. And the story is very interesting because they went through like hundreds of people to get the 3 that would actually do it. And that kind of shows you what it reminds me of is the people that show up here every week are, and periodically, or even occasionally for the networking, because there's only a handful of people that'll actually do stuff. Everybody says they do. In fact, that's one of the things that I see a lot of people still doing challenges out there today. And most people show up, very few finish. And really I've noticed that with everybody we seem to do business with. It's like 10% of the people you want, and you got to get rid of about 90%. It's not that they're bad people, they just don't do anything. So that's one of the things. If you don't have that book, and I don't even think you have to be a member, Lloyd, to get that, the challenge on the website, go download that and just kind of go through the footnotes of that. It's The Challenge from Robert Allen, and he considers it, and I do too, his very best book, even though that was not one of his number one New York Times best-selling books. He's had 5 of them on there, and this is one that just didn't make it, but it's really his best book, I think, ever, because it really tells you how it works. And this was done right here in St. Louis. They just picked out St. Louis because it's the show me state. They wanted to come and show us, and they did. So very interesting. Anyway, so if you're interested in that, I would send me a note, and I'll be happy to send you a link on that.
Okay. That's on our website, STLREIA.com?
STLREIA.com.
Okay. I must have missed that myself. You put a lot of stuff out there, and I put stuff out there too, but I have to go looking for that one. Fabian's got his hand up. You had something more, Fabian?
Yeah, question for the group. Has anyone have any interaction with St. Patrick's Foundation locally? So I'm researching a fourplex out in Benton Park West. The current seller / homeowner / property manager has indicated that the 4 tenants that are currently in that unit, all their rents are being paid by the St. Patrick's Foundation locally. I guess it's similar to Section 8. My wife is literally on the phone with them now trying to find out, a lot of information surrounding their foundation and how we would go about increasing rent and whatever restrictions that they may have in play. So I'm just trying to figure out, has anyone used them or aligned themselves with that foundation before? Oh, Anne. Okay. Thanks, Anne.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we
go ahead,
can
Ann.
now. Yes.
Hi, good morning. Yes, well, we did not place the tenant, but our property manager did, and I can't remember if we only had them in there for a year or if it was more. So I can't tell you about rent increases, but the tenant was decent, it was reliable. We didn't have any issues.
Perfect. Good to know. Yeah. So apparently the 4 tenants that are in there right now, they have been in the program for the last 4 years. So the St. Patrick's Foundation has been paying their rent and gas and electric, and the tenants and the landlord is currently responsible for everything else. So that's good to know. So that's one of the 4plexes I'm thinking of possibly putting an offer on. However, we're in the process, like I said, doing our due diligence, and this St. Patrick's Foundation came up.
Okay. At least that's one good recommendation. Yeah, and I'm not familiar with them, but the roundtable for landlords that I mentioned is being held at the St. Patrick's Center. I'm not sure if they're associated with the St. Patrick's Foundation or not, but could be.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, Linda, because she brought it up last week and about the
Yeah.
landlord roundtable. Okay, so that might be somewhere too. If you're don't get enough information or you want to get more, you can attend that roundtable on May the 22nd.
22nd,
22nd,
yes,
yeah. Yeah,
9 to 1.
9 to 1. Includes breakfast and lunch.
Yes, continental breakfast, a box lunch.
Box lunch. Okay.
I was wrong too. The challenge is not on our website. It's you have a request in there in one of our other books, so you'll have to send it to me and I can send it to you. Sorry about that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
we
remember
didn't-
that one.
Yeah, we didn't have approval. Sorry about that. But
Okay.
I'll go ahead and put it in the chat for you if you want a copy of that. I'd be happy to send it to you.
Okay. Anybody else got something for us today?
Yeah, Lloyd, I have a deal I will share with folks.
Sure, go ahead.
So this is an Illinois side of the river thing, but I will share it just in case. It's an interesting one. So this is in Belleville, Illinois on West F Street. It's a very decent area, street, property, all that good stuff. I'm gonna pull up an email because I haven't read this in the last couple days, so I don't have it fresh on the top of my head, but this is I believe it's 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, ARV around 135,000, maybe 140. Needs somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 to be rent ready, depending on, if you're doing the work yourself or hiring someone else to do it. The interesting part about this is that it is a creative deal. So some other investors I work with, you guys probably know Jeff Kaufman and Ken Rossix. They have this under a subject to agreement. So they're looking for an investor who wants to take over the subject to position. There is an entry fee though of, let me pull it up. It's 25,000 max, but they're looking for $11,000 down to close. And then the other 14 can be creatively structured over time or put on the back end of the loan or whatever. But there is a mortgage on it that would need to get paid. I've got all the numbers on what that is. It's about just under $950 a month on the monthly payment. And I've got all the numbers on what goes to taxes, mortgage insurance, all that good stuff. I've got pictures, etc. So if this is something that you'd be interested in taking over creatively, again, it's about $11,000 to get in on the deal. It's a subject to deal. It's owned in a trust. So you'd be assigned the beneficial ownership of the trust. And if you'd want to refinance this anytime in the near future, we hope that the lender would see the trusts being seasoned. So that could be an upside for you. Again, lots of moving parts to this, but it's a very under control deal, meaning that the people that have been controlling it so far in the subject to scenario are experts. So we'd be happy to make sure that you understand the setup and make sure that if you're interested, this is something we could help you out with. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat. My name's Laura Lennington. My phone number is 719-648-8365. And my email address is Laura, Laura, .c.lennington@gmail.com. That's in the chat as well. So if you're interested in 1812 West F Street in Belleville, I think it's Belleville and not Swansea, according to the tax record, but let me know and be happy to share pictures and any other details or answer any other questions that you have.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Sounds like a creative deal in Belleville.
Yes. Additionally, I'll just kind of mention that, again, I work on both sides of the river, Illinois and Missouri. I'm a licensed agent in both states. I'm first and foremost an investor. I'm constantly looking for my own deals or to help other investors liquidate properties that they don't want to own anymore, whether you liquidate it by selling to me or whether I find you a buyer. So please, if you own a property that you don't want to own, give me a call. I'd love to see if I could help you or if I know someone else who'd be a great fit for you.
Very good. Okay. Anybody else got anything for us today?
I see Fabian still got his hand raised. Was that from before?
I think
or-
it's still from before. He never took it down, and I don't, and he's not on his little 14-inch TV yet either. So
It's like he's on a commercial break.
yeah, on a commercial break. You got to get one of those old Indian signs. Remember when the stations weren't broadcasting, they had a little symbol. Of course, now they go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but nobody else remembers that. Okay, I dated myself. Oh, hey, there's Dave. Okay, Dave.
Hi.
Dave's-
It's okay. Laura, this is Edwina Johnson. What is the address again of that 1812 West?
Yep, West F Street, F like the letter.
Okay,
I'll put-
great. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll send you an email. I may be interested in that, so I'll shoot you over an email.
Okay, great. And I'm getting the
Mhm.
exact address in the chat for you right now, Edwina.
Okay, great. Thank you.
There you go. 1812 West F. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Nobody else has anything. It's going on 12 o'clock here. John, you got any
We're all
final
quiet
report?
today.
Oh, Jay, okay.
Yeah,
That's-
we're all quiet today.
Yes. Weather's quiet, and we are too. That's a good thing. With all the storms and tornadoes and bad weather that's going around us.
Yep.
Hope everybody's been staying safe. Good. Okay, John, you got any final words?
No, I don't have anything. If you just want anything we talked about, or if you have any questions, send me a note and I'd be happy to answer you. Fridays are always good days for me because I'm committed to be here. So if you want anything from me, Friday is always a good day to get in touch with me. I don't have anything else. Looks like Laura's got her hat on ready to go. As soon as she gets her phone call, she's off to her business lunch. You know, so no, it's good seeing everybody. A lot
Okay,
of good
yeah.
conversations, some good deals. I'd like to, Laura, if Laura Linnington, if you get a chance to, it'd be nice to talk to you a little bit more about the mechanics of this. That would be actually a good thing to show people on how you put that deal together, because creative deals are, in my opinion, are always the best, because most people don't do that. People talk about thinking out of the box and all that kind of stuff. We got to remember the directions for everything is inside the box. You got to open it to get to it. So this is a way just to kind of show you some of that stuff. And it would be actually, I think, be a good little a little thing to put together if you don't mind doing that sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and I didn't actually acquire this one, but I have acquired an 11-unit apartment building with subject to. At the end of the day, I used, I think, $250 of my own money to acquire 11 units. And I've acquired a beautiful 5-bedroom house in Granite City with subject to, with $0 out of pocket. So it's really awesome. It's such a unique way to not only acquire property for yourself, but to really help people. Because when you find the right person for this, and you come in as an educated investor who knows what they're doing, you're providing a service to somebody that is hard to find. It's not as simple a process, but it's also not rocket science. And yeah, it's something that if it sounds interesting to other people, I encourage them to learn about it. So.
Thank you, Laura. And that's a good point right there. You're helping people. That's the thing you got to keep in mind. Who else wins if I win? You know, and it's, I always look at it win-win-win, because there's always at least 3 people. But yeah, that's in Nothing Down. In fact, you ought to, if you can, you ought to attend our Nothing Down Day. Those would be some good conversations we'd love to have with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay. I will.
thank you very
I'll
much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's all I got. Thanks everybody for
Okay,
attending.
yeah.
See
Thanks
y'all.
for coming on today. See you next week. Ready?
Bye-bye.
Good week.
Bye, all.
Bye.